Hey there, my lovely crushers. This is Lily, the host of your program, the leader of your group, the creator of the course. And I just want to tell you how glad I am that you're here. You guys are really an awesome bunch for having the courage to, take the plunge and get busy on getting together with your life, fixing up your cravings. Man, that is a hard decision to come to, because a lot of us want to pretend like we don't have a problem. And you're here because you know better. So here's what we're going to do. This is your introductory lesson. And, if you're here, then you've already got your logon ID. Hopefully you've already followed the instructions in your welcome email and started getting the things that you're going to need to be successful in the course. But I'll go over that with you again here. Meanwhile, I just want to first of all just welcome you into the program. And I again want to congratulate you on just making this amazing decision. You're going to break your food addictions and take back your power. That is what this is all about. There's definitely an art to crushing cravings, and I'm here to help you learn the ropes. We've got many years of experience crushing cravings and creating positive outcomes. I've been doing my own program, this particular program, for over 10 years with amazing results. And I've been helping others do it for almost all of that time. So we've had a lot of success with it. And now I'm taking it to another level to work with people remotely over the internet. So that's what's really cool about what's happening here, is that I can share my success stories and techniques with more of you. Because clearly what you've been doing and thinking hasn't worked up until now. And that's exactly the place that I was in 10 years ago when I had to figure out what wasn't working, what exactly I needed to do differently. So that's what this course is all about, and that's what I'm going to share with you. In this first module, though, I'm just going to give you an overview of what's to come in the rest of the course. We're going to explain the program, give you the format, talk to you about the Q&A sessions, talk to you about the peer groups. We're also going to explore new strategies. We're going to look at a lot of the excuses we give ourselves, look at a lot of the trigger foods that we're going to have to deal with, and a lot of the self-sabotage that comes along with some of our negative mindsets around our ability to crush our cravings and break our food addictions. So we want to change your thinking, and we're going to give you some radical tools for some fast results. So as time goes on, we'll be exploring really empowered mindsets and empowered choices. Because this program is really not about information, it's about transformation. Okay, so in addition to the things you'll be learning, like hidden drugs, modern food versus ancient metabolisms, ketosis, STIF, which is STIF, that's a technique, a secret weapon that we use. This program, again, though, is about transforming your lifestyle. So get ready to get real, okay, guys and gals? You're all welcome here. So one of the first things you'll be hearing me talk about is finding your inner dragon. Now you might be wondering, what in the world does a dragon have to do with crushing cravings? Well, your inner dragon is a euphemism for recovering your personal power, because that's one thing we really want to dig deep into. We want to look into your mindset, and we've got to turn it around, because for whatever reason, you have been living in a self-defeating way, and we're going to examine some of your self-defeating beliefs. We're going to blow some myths right out of the water, myths that you've been telling yourself, myths that the world has been telling you, or your family, or your friends, or your inner dialogue has been telling you. We're going to stretch your mind, stretch your thought processes, challenge you, and help you celebrate your successes all along the way. But in order to have success, we got to wake you up, and we got to take stock of how this addiction is stealing your life from you. But we'll get to the heart of your fears, and we'll help you confront them so that you can overcome them. And we really want to get you thinking about what your life will look like without your addiction. We're going to dig in, and we'll help you. And, we want to provide some relief to you and help you re-find your power, help you revitalize yourself with some new energy, and help you heal your soul by providing some hope. Because we're all on the other side of these fears, and a new kind of life waits for you there. Okay? Now, most of you want the big four, that I call it. This is where we're all in agreement that we may have particular circumstances or particular foods that are, some are more troublesome than others, some situations are more troublesome than others, but however it manifests in particular in your life, we're going to look at that on an individual basis, and then we're going to look at some of the things that we all have in common. Because the big four results that we want to get is that we want to crush our cravings. Okay, and the first way you do that is to break your food addiction, because you cannot control your cravings when you have an active food addiction. The fastest way to break your food addiction is to embrace fasting. And I'm going to tell you all about that, and you'll learn more about how that works. We also want to help you, like I said, find relief and feel hope again. So we first have to understand what's going on with our addiction. But even beyond that, knowledge alone isn't enough to change anything. So we want to get you some fast results. We want you to start feeling good and feeling powerful right out of the gate while you're learning. All right, so we'll teach you how to embrace short-term intermittent fasting. That's STIF, stiff. That's part of what it is. You have to kind of stiffen up and take stock of what's happening here, because this is a big problem in your life. And there have to be some drastic solutions in order to address them. But there's different methods of fasting, and there's different lengths of fasting, and different results for fasting, and different techniques. So we'll look at lots of different kinds and show you how to use them to your best advantage. We'll teach you why you want to use them, and we'll teach you how. But it's up to you to actually take the action, because you know as well as I do that if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. And clearly that is not working for you. So you need to feel some relief. You need to regain your hope, and short-term intermittent fasting can do that for you, but you first must embrace it. Okay, now this is a great program, and it works, and it'll optimize all four of these outcomes for you, because you can't really have just one or two. If you do, you'll sabotage yourself because you're not getting the full effect. So we want you to start to wake up your dragon, start to believe that these big four outcomes can be yours. All right? And then we'll dig into how we actually do that. We're going to learn a lot about food addictions, because they're like little sneaky snakes. They just want to, kind of wait in the grass and strike when you're not looking. They sneak up on you. They take over your life. They can be a real pain in the neck. Okay, so while we're teaching you, we'll share our experiences so that you'll know what to expect. You can embrace the process of discovering your addictions, dealing with your addictions, taking your addictions apart. Okay, you'll learn the difference between appetite and addiction. We'll help you explore the difference between hunger and compulsion. We'll guide you through detox and help you become aware of your natural state, because a natural metabolism feels very, very different from an addicted metabolism. Okay, and once you burn the sugars out of your blood and your brain and your liver, guess what? You can think clearly again. Okay? It's much easier to avoid self-sabotage when your brain isn't on drugs. All right, so once you realize how easily you can break your addiction, well, what do you do next? You've got to understand your addiction and how it happened in the first place, because we know that you can break your addictions and take back your life. We don't sugarcoat anything in this course, and it's going to get real in here. But you also have to be able to beat the grass and uncover where those hidden snakes are in your life, in your world, in your kitchen, in your cupboard. You have to understand that you need to choose what you're eating, but that modern food is absolutely packed with hidden sugar. And you may not even be aware of how much you're eating and drinking. So we're going to get into your cupboards. We're going to look at the ingredients. We're going to look at the labels and find out where all those sneaky snakes are living. And you might think you know how to do this, but we'll find out if you do or not. All these years later, I am still surprised by how much sugar is in foods that I eat. So this is a solution to a major problem, and we're solving it in a way that no one else is. So we're taking you on this transformational journey, but just remember, our members show up ultra committed, and that's how they get the big results. So already I can hear you. You're going, really? Food labels, counting carbs? I've been doing that for years. That's boring. It doesn't work, right? And you're wrong. Food addictions are serious problems. They are ruining your life. They are stealing your joy. But before you can deal with them, you've got to take stock of what's actually happening. If you don't know how much sugar you're eating, you can't really choose not to eat it because you're not even aware of where you're getting it from. So you have to take stock. No one's forcing you to eat this sugar, but if you're eating it unawares, then that's very different from choosing to eat it deliberately, knowing it's there. So if you don't realize how much you're eating, you don't also probably understand its effect on your brain. If you're living a sugar-heavy life, then you're facing pretty serious physical and mental health problems. This disease, this epidemic in the country is a major factor in the most debilitating diseases that we are facing in today's society, namely obesity, diabetes, heart disease, hypoglycemia, hyperthyroidism, depression. And how are they treating most of these symptoms? They're treating it with basically two methods, either medically with drugs as a result of the symptoms that you get from the diseases that are caused by your food addiction down the road. So they treat the symptoms way, way, way down the road. Or they want to treat you surgically. They want to cut your stomach out. They want to rewire your intestines. They want to put a band around your esophagus. They want to do all kinds of things that don't really address the basic problems. So if you're going to get to the other side, you're going to have to do some work and dig in. But remember, guys, it doesn't have to be unpleasant. We're going to have fun. Don't forget that. Growing into your power, raising your dragon, waking your dragon is a pleasant experience, especially when you embrace the new ideas that are coming your way. Remember, we need you to be coachable and resourceful. So whatever you've been doing that hasn't worked, maybe you just want to try something else. Open your mind to a new way of living, a new way of thinking, and a new way of eating. Because your well-being is your birthright. So claim it. All right? If you do the work, we'll help you get happy. We'll help you feel helpful. We'll help you feel powerful. We'll help you break your addictions. Now, remember, the goal is transformation. The goal is to reclaim your power. And so much of your success resides in your heart and your head. Again, dragons are powerful energy. They hit their goals quickly. We have lots of people who've broken their addictions in a matter of days. Now, staying unbroken can be another story, but we can help you get the fast results that you want. We've got great tools for doing it. The right mindset and tenacity are really at the root of any successful person, whether they're movie stars, they're entrepreneurs, they're professional athletes. When you really talk to them or listen to them talk, they all have one thing in common, and that is they believe that they can do it. So part of what we're going to teach you is how to fake it until you make it. We're really going to work on your self-talk because we want you to prepave your success. That's part of finding your inner dragon and claiming your right to the well-being that exists on the other side of your food addictions. We're going to build positive momentum because here's the truth. If you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're right. All right, so moving on. Now, the best way to break your food addiction is to do a fast for 3 to 4 days. In addition to that, we do a deep dive into the choices that got you there and keep you addicted and are likely to re-addict you if you go back to them. We look at your trigger foods and we help you figure ways to recover from relapses. They do happen. Life happens. This is a lifestyle transformation. This is not a quick fix. This is not where you don't have to do work, right? But if you want to break your food addictions, and you're going to have to get real with yourself, but you can break them in 3 or 4 days, especially if you do the whole fast the first time you try. But if not, it might take you a little more practice. Just remember that everyone goes at their own pace. So you don't want to compare yourselves to anyone else in the program. Always remember, however, if they can do it, you can too. We are all about transformation. breaking old habits, and in particular, breaking old beliefs and old ways of thinking. Part of the transformation that we're after is creating a new, happy, and empowered you, a dragon who believes in yourself. This is your path. You get to do the specifics your way. You get to decide what stays and what goes. You get to decide what behaviors, what foods, what things really are things you cannot give up and that you want to include in your program. But you can include them in moderation, but you decide how you do it. Nobody is the same as you. So we don't have a one-size-fits-all program, but there are many things in common that all of us do experience. So we give you those tools that are good for everybody. We keep you accountable, but you have to decide that you can do it and you will do it. We'll challenge your self-defeating beliefs. We'll get you some insight into your own self-sabotage and into your fears. But you have to realize that you can be your own worst enemy or your own best friend. Okay? It's about mindset and perspective. So we help you change all those unconscious things that are in your head. You know, the best tools are meaningless if you don't believe you deserve to feel better. So first of all, you have to believe that. You have to believe that well-being is yours. We'll get more into that. But right now, some of you are coming from a really downtrodden, really powerless victim mentality. You're remembering the last thing you tried and it failed. But we're going to get you into an understanding that you are the only one in control of your life. You're worthy, and you'll start to be happier as soon as you believe that you deserve to be happier. And once you do start feeling happier, you can start feeling good in your own skin right now. Okay? You don't have to wait until your goals are met, because the fastest way to meet your goals is to start feeling good right now. It may sound counterintuitive, but when was the last time you actually felt good in your skin? Can you remember what it was like to finally feel some relief? How good will it feel when you're comfortable inside your head, inside your heart, and inside your skin? What will it take to get your life off hold so you can start feeling better right now? What? What would it take? And why would you do that? You haven't reached your goal yet. There's nothing to celebrate. Well, that's wrong, because finding inner strength starts with clarity. And we will get you really clear in this program. Really clear on what you want, really clear on what you don't want, clear on what is helpful, what is hurtful, clear on why you have the right and the obligation to take care of yourself. We'll get you clear on the difference between self-love and selfishness, the difference between self-care and self-sacrifice. The truth is, we know you can do this. We're living proof, and we've been there. We've been in your shoes. So how do you feel good in your own skin? Well, you got to do some work, all right? That's just the long and short of it. But a few hours of high-quality work per day is really all you should need to do to break your addiction. You can go back to building your life, the life that you dreamed of when you were a kid, a life that's not plagued by food addictions. If you're following a plan that works, and you are, you can do that. You've made the decision to do something. We're here to help. So get ready. We've already made it to the other side, stayed here for years. A few radical changes in thinking and some massive actions up front, but we'll explore your options and help you choose the direction and the pace that you can live with, because everyone has different goals. So we'll develop a plan that you can live with forever, because this isn't just a diet, it's a lifestyle transformation. And yeah, you heard that before. We know. You've also tried everything and nothing worked. We tried all that too, but until we learn the secret weapons. Okay, there's a totally new way of thinking, a totally new way of living. We're the best in the field. We're the only ones teaching this. We know it works, and just a few hours a day can break your addictions so you can get to the other side. We're living proof that there is an addiction-free life without hunger on the other side. All right? Now, why do we do this? Because this is part of our service and contribution to the world. We know that having the best body and even an amazing lifestyle won't mean a thing if you're not happy. Okay, now I've been a coach and a consultant for decades. But 10 years ago, I realized that the conventional wisdom that everyone's teaching really isn't working. It wasn't working for me, and I was white-knuckling it through my diets and through my plans in order to reach my goals, and I hated it because there always came a point where I couldn't do it anymore. And it never provided the fast and lasting results that everyone wants. Everybody can do something for a couple of weeks, but that doesn't really change their mindset. It doesn't really get them to a natural state that is sustainable. So quite a while back, I investigated some alternative natural methodologies and finally found the keys. These are the keys that changed my life, and I'm here to share that knowledge with you. I believe that finding relief from food addictions changes the world one person at a time, and I can't think of a better way to spend my time and energy. It's my way of paying it forward. So we want our clients' lives to get better. We want to solve their biggest problems and increase their happiness really quickly. When you graduate, we want you to be in a better state than we found you. Because once again, when you're good, you add good to the world. You add good to your family. You walk through life with a different energy. And that makes the whole world a better place, one person at a time. Now that's pretty cool. So how do we do it? Okay, what's the game plan? How does this really work? There's nothing more rewarding for me than sharing in your success. You matter to me, to our team, to the people around you. And more importantly, you matter to yourself, your family, your friends. But your happiness is important to me, and I want you to be important to yourself once again. You were born with a propensity for well-being, and somewhere along the way it's gotten lost. So my goal, this game plan, is to help you find your joy, regain your hope, and become comfortable with yourself again. Now we're going to do that through an 8-week program. Okay? We show you how to diagnose each piece of your problem. We give you some really powerful tools that you probably never used before. And we want you to triumph over your food addiction. Okay? You can crush your cravings in a very fast, but also meaningful and lasting fashion. Now, how we do this, we'll go more into it, but in general, it's weekly training modules, some live Q&A sessions, some individual training one-on-one calls, and then there's alumni support for the grads. Your job is to show up, do the work, submit your questions, attend the meetings, and ask for help. The game plan is about you and it's for you. And it looks like this. First off, clarity. We're going to start with clarity. We're going to do a lot of work here. We want to help you get to the truth about your particular situation. We give you a framework and you do the work. We review your work, but we're not looking for obvious or easy answers. We are looking for deep dives. We get on one-on-one calls with you, and we have work exercises to get you inside your fears. We want you to have insight into your own pain. We want you to understand the ripple effects of your pain. We want you to look at your doubts, your sense of victimization, the excuses that you run to, the blame that you pitch onto somebody or some situation. And we want to have some compassion for the exhaustion that you feel, because dealing with an active food addiction is an all-day, 24/7 exercise. I know. I've been there. And then I know that I got worn out and I was apathetic. And then there were other times when I got re-energized, but I was coming from a place of desperation. I'm sure you can relate to that. We all have inner tapes that we listen to. We have learned behavior. We have familial models. We have habits that we've picked up. We have negative role models. We have enemies and frenemies. We have failures that we can recount. We have depressions that we suffer as a result of our failures. Some of us have even thought about ending it because we don't want to live in that much pain all the time. Some of us are living a slow death. We're eating ourselves into the grave. The effect on our health, the medications, the expenses, the surgeries, it's rampant and it runs our lives. So our goal here is to understand ourselves and then move past some of these limiting circumstances till we can get back into a place of power, a place where you can begin to accept and adopt different options. You can embrace new methodologies for your life on the other side of your addiction. And we'll be working on your mindset throughout the entire course, but we're going to get clear up front on what you want to achieve and how we can help you get there. Okay? Now, right while we're learning all through on the mindset and the tools, we want you to start detoxing right away. Okay? Because you're already saying, oh, mindset, schmindset. Yeah, just show me how to break this effing addiction. Okay? Just get me on the other side right now. Well, okay, we're going to do that. That's where detox comes in. And it involves things like, in the first week, you're going to do food logs because we want to see where you're at and what you're eating. But by week 2, you're going to be ready to start fasting. And yes, this means giving up food. This may be terrifying for some of you, but we'll help you find new ways to look at it. I've been fasting for over 10 years and have nothing but love for this skill I've developed. I never would have believed it, but it works. And you feel so empowered afterward. You can even feel euphoric while you're fasting. That just is news for some people. But that's where ketopia comes in. Once you've broken your addiction, you're no longer in the grips of it. And so you have to understand, why do you want to live this way? What is ketosis? Why should I care about this? What happens? Do I never get to have bread or rice or cakes or candies? Are they gone forever? Well, all of these questions will be answered. And ketopia is a really cool place to live in. And there's a lot of really cool people who live there. So we'll get you into the kingdom here. All right? But then you're going to be dealing with temptation, right? Maybe you don't feel so hungry anymore, and you start thinking, oh, I'll skip the food logs. But you're still kind of a newbie at this. And even newbies, even if you're really experienced, I'm really experienced. I have to go back to food logs when I need to whip myself back into shape. Because I still want to eat the things that I used to eat. So what do? Bad habits and demons are riding on your shoulder all the time. What do you do? My family's eating things that are not in my best interest. What do? Well, we'll answer these questions and we'll dig deep into the drugs that are hiding in plain sight. Because they are. Modern food has so much sugar in it, and our modern diet is built around a sugar carbohydrate metabolism. We'll talk all about that. Because that also is something we have to deal with. There's going to be a time when, you fall off. It's a special occasion. What do? I ate something and I didn't realize it. And I may have re-addicted myself. What do? I've broken my food addictions, I thought, so why am I standing in front of the fridge wondering what to eat? These things happen. We'll show you how to deal with them in the section called lapses. Okay? So you see where we're going with this? It's a lot about you dealing with you and you and you. It's not a strict eating program. In fact, it's a strict not eating program for a little while, and then it's eating sensibly, and then not eating, and then eating sensibly. And all of this is designed to get you into your dragon mentality. It's designed to make you understand why you want this. We'll do more work on mindset and clarity, and we'll prep you for your graduation. Because by this time, you'll be feeling pretty good. You might even be wanting to tell your friends about it. But before we get started, we need some agreements from you up front. And this picture's a little shocking, and I picked it on purpose because this is a picture I actually took. And when I saw this happening, I felt like the frog. And I felt like my addiction was the snake. And I felt like my addiction was eating me alive. Okay, and so one agreement that we have to make right up front is that you're going to decide, you have to decide that you want to learn how to beat your addiction. Because if you don't, it will continue to eat you alive. Meal by meal, day by day, disease by disease. Okay, so this is one thing. This is the upfront thing. If you haven't yet decided that you want to learn how to beat your addiction, then we need to do some work around that, because that's a primary agreement we have to have before we move forward together. Now, beyond that, there's some other things I want you to look at. We need you to be honest with yourself, and have humility about what's really going on in your life, what's really going on in your world, what's really going on in your head and in your heart. This takes some courage and bringing down walls. And once you do that, it leaves you feeling kind of vulnerable. But that's where the place of healing can begin. That's where you start to pull out of the mouth of the snake. Okay? You can escape from the snake, and you can even become a dragon that then eats the snake. But in order to do that, you have to be coachable, which means you need to have an attitude of open-mindedness. All right? There's going to be things you learn that you just think you can't do, or don't want to do, or think you'll hate doing, and you'll lie to me about it, or you'll tell me you did it, but you really didn't. And that's not going to really work, because that's not a coachable attitude. So we need you to be decisive as well. Decide you want to learn, and be resourceful about digging deep to find the strength to do it. Bring your challenges, to the table. We can help with that. There's nothing that's going to shock us. I've been doing this for years. I've heard it all. I've done it a lot too. There's a lot of personal stories I'll share with you that will probably shock you. But that said, we want you to have extreme ownership over this process, because this is your life. I'm here to guide you, and I'm here to make you stay accountable to your own goals, but I can't do it for you. I can't control what you put in your mouth. I can't control your bad attitude that lets you take over and give yourself excuses. I can't do that. But I do want you to own what results that you do have, and the strength that you can develop if you don't feel that you have it already. Just own where you're at, all right? And we'll talk more about that. Then comes a willingness and a courage. This takes courage, and it takes a positive mindset. And we'll understand more about how that positive mindset actually fosters your success as we go forward. But once again, embrace the short-term intermittent fasting. That is at the core of our program. That is a reusable secret weapon that will get you through to the other side as fast as possible with the least amount of pain. Okay? So those are some of the things we need from you. These are your agreements. You'll agree to bring these things to the table. Okay? Now, what not to do and what to do. Do's and don'ts. In the Facebook group, remember, everybody's dealing with the same thing. So just observe the simple rules in the group. Don't use the group for Q&A. Okay? We answer questions individually in email and in the Q&A sessions. So don't use the groups for Q&A. The groups are for sharing your success. Okay? Also, don't ask other pre-grads for advice, because they're still learning too. So they don't necessarily know the right answer. If you have questions or you want to know something, put it out there in a question, or bring it to the Q&A, and we'll answer it that way so that everyone can hear the same answer. Because there's others who want to know what you want to know. So don't use the groups for that. Somebody could miss it. And don't use the other students for advice. Also, please don't get negative. Okay, we understand that you're having a hard time. We understand that it might be challenging. But getting negative is just going to feed the monster and send you on a downward spiral. So we're going to work on mindset. And part of the mindset is avoiding negativity. Not because you don't feel it, not because it isn't real, but we're going to teach you a better way to deal with it. So the groups are not a place to come in and just bitch, moan, complain. Okay? We don't want you to just do the poor me all over the group. That's a victim mentality, and we're going to get past that. Also, do not advertise. If you found some great tool or drink or, vitamin or probiotic or something like that, you can recommend them, but don't advertise. Like, don't put links to your affiliate site for people to buy vitamins through you or something like that. That would be an inappropriate interaction in the group. What we do want you to do is celebrate your victories. Okay, so post about your wins. Display your positive mindsets. Congratulate and encourage other students and other group members. That's how you interact in the group. So those are just a few little tips for success. Now, how do you actually get help in the course? Well, first of all, go back over the training, because most of the answers are already there. So try to help yourself first. If you're stuck, however, you can send an email, and we'll do our best to answer your question on a personal basis. But sometimes we get a lot of emails from people who really just haven't done the work yet. and they don't understand, or they need to listen to it again to really understand before they send their email. Okay? So remember, this is your program. We're giving you the tools, but you still have to do the work. All right? Now, we also have live trainings. Okay, those are Q&A calls that we do twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, depends how many people we have in the course at the time. And the links to the Q&A calls are posted in the members' Facebook group ahead of time. So you can put your questions in there, and you can link right into the meeting. So just check that Facebook group for the meetings and the times. It's pretty easy once you do it once or twice. It's really not a big deal. Okay, so if you can't attend all of the Q&A sessions live, they will be recorded for you, so you can go back and listen to them. But even if you don't have a question that you want answered, please attend and listen, because someone else may ask what you really were wanting to know about, or something you didn't think you needed to know about, and someone asked and you had an answer, and it ended up being really helpful. So the Q&A sessions are really important. It's part of the live training that you get, and we really want you to participate. We need you to come and show up. All right, so that is important. Now, in addition to all that live training, you also get 3 individual coaching sessions. Some will be on mindset, some will be on accountability and reviewing your homework, and others will be on some intuitive readings that we can do for you towards the end of your graduation to really get you in touch with your dragon if you're having a little trouble accessing that, or if you want to get more power built up around that. You know, your dragon is a cool thing, and we'll talk more about how that works. But it's an energetic experience. So we want you to get more in touch with your energy and your emotions. All right? So remember, the live trainings, they're here to help you get clarity and move towards your outcomes. Now, this whole process can be overwhelming for some people. It can bring up a lot of fears, and we're going to dig pretty deep into personal issues. So when some of that comes up, you can get a little scared. This is deep work, but know that you're among the best. Nobody else does this kind of work in this format and with these methodologies. We have great success. People love our program. I'm living proof that it works, and so are our graduates. So just have faith that you can do it too. If we can do it, you can do it. And actually, you'll probably start feeling really good really fast. And that said, you might want to tell your friends about us. Just know that if you're enjoying your program, once you start feeling powerful and you get to liking that dragon and you get to feeling better than you ever have in years, you might want to share this experience with some of your friends. So we have a referral program where we will pay you $1,000 for anyone you refer to us who enrolls in the program. Just remember, we want to help them the same way that we helped you. Break their food addictions, embrace short-term fasting, find relief, and find hope. Okay? Feeling good so far? All right, so what's next? Well, you probably already got your email with your action steps. So right now you have some things to do if you haven't already. You need to sign the member agreement and return that to us. Make sure you get on the link to book your first coaching call. Okay, that's your deep dive call. And make sure we have your email so we can add you to the Facebook group that's for members only. Also, buy keto sticks right away as soon as possible. You're going to need them within a couple of days. So you can walk into most pharmacies or call ahead if you want to be sure. They're about $12, $15, $16, depends where you go. Not every pharmacy has them. Most grocery store pharmacies do not. But I've had good luck at Walmart or CVS, Walgreens even. Or you can get them online and they come straight to your door. Another thing we want you to do is take your before and after pics. You may or may not be in this to lose weight, or you may just want to crush your cravings and break your addictions. But oftentimes, as a result of that, you do lose some weight, and you can sometimes see some pretty significant differences over the course of 8 weeks. So make sure you take your before pics, one from the front and one from the side. Okay? And if you have any questions, just submit an email and we'll help you get through the initial beginning steps. All right? So right now, that's pretty much all I have for you right now. I put this beautiful piece of artwork in here as my logo because it's really fierce. You know, it's powerful. It looks a little snaky and scary, But in a way, some of the work that we're going to be doing is a little scary. We're dealing with some deep things here. We're dealing with an addiction that is cunning and baffling and powerful. And unlike other addictions like drugs or alcohol that you can just decide to give up once in your life forever, you can't decide to stop eating forever. So, what we're going to do is even more challenging than some of those other addiction recovery programs that you might hear about out there. You may have even gone through some of them for another addiction of your own. But food is different. We have to keep eating food for the rest of our lives. We just want to eat in a very powerful way so that we are in control of our addictions and they're not in control of us. Okay? We're going to take back our power. And that starts with getting some clarity and finding some of that dragon energy. So that's what's coming up next in the next module. So do the rest of the work in this one. And when you're ready, you can go to the next one. All right? So for now, I am so glad you're here. We're going to be embarking on an amazing journey together. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to serve you in this way. And I'm so looking forward to sharing in your success because I absolutely know how much my life changed when I went through this process and came out the other side. And I'm still on the other side. I'm still living my life with a dragon full of energy. I smile a lot, and you will too. All right, so here we go. Next up, this is the end of this module. We'll see you on the next one. Lily out, and keep crushing on.